Okay, so welcome back to the kitchen. A few videos ago I made a video on how to do overnight oats. I'm not going to focus on that part today, but rather I'm going to focus a bit on how to read nutrition labels. So basically the part here where it says how many calories, how much protein you have, how many carbohydrates, sugar and fat you have and everything. Because basically that's the reason why I measure everything quite strictly. So let's put everything in here together. I'll just talk you through it. So first of all, you need to get a scale. Otherwise there's no way to find out what you're doing. So I'm going to start by putting some coconut milk inside here. And already here is a good choice. But it's a bit tricky because when you get this, it's measured, I think the American way, by 240 milliliters. So basically it's by portion size or something. So you have to calculate this 240 milliliters to 100 grams, or at least that's the European standard, I think. So basically here, per 250 milliliters, this is 90 calories. So 45, so it's maybe like around 40 calories per 100 grams. So I'm gonna put the base of this inside first. This is gonna mix with the protein powder, so have quite a bit. This is quite a lot, 125. So what you can see though is that it's quite low in calories, quite low in fat, mostly carbs, so it's a lot of sugar, but basically no protein, 0 grams of protein. So that of course is not very ideal, but that on the other hand is why we have yogurt. So I guess this is one realization in the first place, some things in your food have no protein, and basically for me and most people that is probably what you want because you get full and you build muscle. So this one, the 0% fat, 10% protein one, well 10% of 100 is 10. So basically you get protein 10 gram per 100 gram. So let's compensate with the non-protein milk. We're putting this inside instead. So I'm actually gonna add in a kiwi tomorrow morning when I wake up on top of this, and something I extremely rarely do, which is to put some sort of cereals here, or granola I guess it's called. I have two varieties here, so that's going to take up some volume. And the reason why I have them here is because I bought them a long time ago but didn't want to eat them because it's too much sugar. But we'll get to that part. But just in short, on the topic of sort of protein content, here you see 430 calories per 100 grams, which is crazy. 18 grams of sugar in this one. And in this one we have, this is also a bit of a weird portion size, so a fourth of a cup. Apparently that's 30 grams, 130 calories. So 100 grams is almost like 450 calories. So a lot of unhealthy stuff is around that range, 400 to 500 calories per 100 grams, because normally it's a lot of sugar. Also yogurt has a little bit of sugar, but that was 16 grams. This is 4. So clearly a lot healthier. So this will make you quite full and has a lot of volume. So I'm gonna add in quite a bunch of this. This is highest protein content as well, so we're gonna have a lot of volume here. Okay, 174. So basically you can calculate 174, so almost 200. So basically it's gonna be almost 20 grams protein, 150 or something. Then we have a lot of seeds here. You can almost think that I'm sponsored by Red Mill, Bob's Red Mill, but I am not. So we have a lot of seeds here. Looks very healthy, right? But then look, pumpkin seeds. Okay, also weird measurement. 3 tablespoons is apparently a serving size here. So you have to kind of convert it to 100 grams, so times 4. So that's 600 calories if you have 100 grams. Of course, we're not gonna have 100 grams, but maybe 10 grams. So let's add in, okay, 8 grams. So 8 grams, so 600 divided by 10, it's almost 60. So this is probably like 45, 50 calories just in these. That's basically because it has a lot of fat content here. So you have to be careful with a lot of these seeds. Same with these ones. Then we're gonna go for the chia seeds. So these are good because they expand. That's why you wanna have it in this overnight oats here, because when you put it and mix it with the milk or the coconut milk, it expands a lot. It has a lot of calories though, so I'm gonna add in a lot here to make it big. Okay, so 21 grams, 22, okay. So actually 22 grams, that is quite a lot. So this is actually per 100 grams, so we can read it here easily. 490 grams, so okay, 49 for 10, so 50, almost like 100 calories for that chia seed, so you have to be very careful. But it has a lot of protein, so that is good. But also a lot of fat, so basically the same almost fat or more fat than protein actually, so that's why these seeds have a lot of calories. Healthy of course, but if you counting your calories, which I do, these are quite tricky. Then we have the flax seeds, which basically is the same story. Also weird measurement, 2 tablespoons, 13 grams, so I guess that's like times 8, so maybe this is like also around 600 calories per 100 grams. So you basically have to convert it and like put it in Excel or something if you want to check. So yeah, also here a lot of fat, but also protein. So let's add some of this in. This also expands, tastes a bit weird, so you shouldn't overdo it. If you put more than like 10-20 grams in oat, it kind of takes over the flavor a bit, but also expands, so really good. 8 grams, okay. So now we're getting to the last seed here. Sunflower seeds also look very small, but 625 calories per 100 grams. Protein 22.5, that's great, but a lot of fat, 57, so all of these are pretty crazy. So this is 57, yeah, I don't remember how to convert this. Fat is actually less fat, chia is less fat, so sunflower seeds are really crazy. Let's add in here, not too much. 5 grams, okay. So then we're gonna make it a bit more chocolatey. We actually have protein powder later, but cacao powder has almost no calories. It's really good, it has a lot of fiber. So you can go crazy with this. Oh, that's a little bit too crazy, but okay, 6 grams. I think actually more went in. Let's do that. So I actually have it here, 100% cocoa. Also weird servings are 6, so I guess I'll take it like times 15. 150, so maybe 200 calories per 100 grams, and we had 6, so like 20, so it's like 15 calories or something like that. So my math is not the best, but basically nothing compared to these. And it even has a little bit of protein and fat. Then we have the protein powder, and these you have to be a bit careful with. They are also, okay, so this is per serving, so per 31 grams here, so times 3 here, so calories 116, so basically times 3, so there's 340, 350, is almost 350 calories. Of course we're not going to have 100 grams in here, maybe one scoop is like 30 or 40, I guess that's the serving size here, but normally you get more than you think. So let's see, this is actually vegan protein, so that's actually healthy. But let's see, we have starting to get full here. I'm gonna add in 36, so that's basically almost like one scoop here, so probably 130 calories or something. So that's basically everything, but you know, these can very easily add up, especially if you have kind of like a bulking powder that has a lot of calories. And this is mostly like protein, basically 21 grams in one scoop, so this is gonna have quite a lot of protein. We get like 15 or 20 from the yogurt, and we have like 20 or 40, and then we have some of this like 50-60 grams and something like this maybe in this one. So actually this is probably going to be like 1,000 calories or something. Then we're going to add on this maybe like 100 more and that one, so this could probably be like 1,200 calories. I'm just guessing here, but somewhere like that, 1,000 to 1,200 in a very small volume so that you can eat very fast. So let's jump to tomorrow and add that in and try it out. Actually I forgot the oats in the overnight oats, the irony, because I basically noticed that it was too easy to pour around, and these guys are pretty dangerous. Also quite a lot of calories here per 100 grams, 368. So since I'm gonna have some of these cereals, I'm not gonna have too much, just a little bit. Whoops. 31 grams, that's way too much, but well, can't do much about that now. That was a mistake. But yeah, to illustrate, so 36 grams, that was 400 something. So basically these oats are probably like 100 calories or something. But let's mix them up. This is gonna be a bit hard to mix. So now we're ready to go. We're just gonna put on the lid, put it in the fridge, and take it out tomorrow. Boom. So I always like to prepare the coffee, the best part of the day, while I'm preparing, and also making sure the kitchen is cleaned up and tidy. So pouring this coffee inside here, best part of the day. Then I'm gonna press it down here, let it sit for a little bit, and then we're gonna cut up the rest of the things. Okay, so let's see what we are dealing with here. This is the kind of final product from yesterday. Let's open it up. Satisfying sound. Ooh, plop. Okay. So you can see it kind of gotten very thick here. It's not at all like runny as it was last time when I put it in the fridge. So what I did in my other video actually was to put in some egg whites on top of this, but I'm not going to do that today. So as you see, the jar is not that big, so you can't put that much on top of it. But I'm gonna cut up some of this kiwi. Then I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of this on top. Normally I try to go for kind of like low calorie toppings, like well, not banana, but that's one option. But berries, basically like raspberries, blueberries, or strawberries. A bit more expensive. Banana is definitely cheaper. But yeah, kiwi is nice. So I'm gonna cut that up and let's add it in. I think for that I need some coffee first. Now I'm gonna have a sip of this. Best part of the day. It's hot. Best part of the day. I feel like a human being again. Wow. Then we're gonna get back to this. Let's get going. So for fruits and stuff, you can actually kind of Google them and see what's inside. So basically for kiwi, you just Google here. So we get the kiwi here, then we Google. Calories in kiwi is 61 apparently. So that's why you have the scale here. I guess you can't see, but okay, so you have a bit of a shell around it or whatever it's called. 100 grams, 103, okay, so basically that's 60 calories then. And then we compare that with, for an example, this one then that we talked about actually yesterday. So comparing with this one, 130 calories for 30 grams. So you can divide it by or multiply by 3 to get to like 100 grams. 450. So basically 4.5 times as many calories in this compared to this. Of course, this maybe has a bit bigger volume, but I think it's very important that you sort of know what you're eating and what you're doing when you do this. So I'm gonna finish all of this off, so I'm gonna eat these anyways. This has probably been here like half a year or something. I just don't want it to expire. So I'm gonna top off a little bit on top of the muesli or on top of the oats, but then I'm definitely not gonna have more of that. I'm just gonna cut this up in 2 pieces and sort of scrape out the middle part to get it out in the best way. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, but I'm sure there are better ways to cut this open and do it nicely. I'm just gonna put it in here. Looking quite nice, right? So now I'm gonna sprinkle on some coconut and some cereals, and for that we definitely need to weigh this one. So 0 grams. I'm gonna try this brand here. Let's see how that works out. Muesli. Actually looks like you have some raspberries and stuff inside here. It looks really nice, but you shouldn't get tricked by that sort of healthy view you get, because it's actually not that good for you. 5 grams, okay. I'm not sure what that is. So I'm not sure if 5 grams is exactly correct, but let's go with that. So if it is, it's a 6-7 grams. If it is 10 grams, that's basically like 450 divided by 10, 45. So it's like 30 calories or something. So I'm not sure. It looks like it's more, but let's go with that. Then on top, I'm gonna have some coconut flakes here, and I think I have the original package here as well, actually. So it's not flakes, it's actually for baking. Macaroon, unsweetened coconut macaroon something, so I guess to put in those macarons. Looking into this one, it's a bit tricky to see here. It's per 15 grams, 100 calories, so times 7 or 8 maybe. So 800 calories for 100 grams. Of course, we're not gonna have 100 grams here. You're gonna have maybe like 5. But yeah, still 30. It's like 20-30 calories. It can add up. So you have to be careful. So I'm gonna put all of that on the screen in the end here. I'm just gonna sprinkle on a little bit. Ooh, that's a bit too much. to be careful. It's more than I planned for, but that's what happens sometimes in the kitchen. It says 2 grams, so let's trust that. So let's bring it out in the living room and eat it, and let's see. Okay, so it's time to dig in. And of course, all this calorie counting thing seems a bit crazy, and I haven't done that for 99% of my life. But things like this look very healthy and are probably, talked about as very healthy, but also have a lot of calories actually. So I haven't checked exactly, but let's say this is 1,000 or more. If you eat this for breakfast and you're not that active person, if you're just in office all day, you can probably only eat maybe 1,000 more calories per day, which is kind of what I'm doing because I'm losing weight. But if you're not, then basically this feels like you're being healthy, but you're not going to lose weight. You're probably going to gain weight. And of course, this is a lot more protein than most breakfast are. So if you had, for example, only the coconut milk and all these cereals, you would basically have no protein at all. So this is a much better way to compose it. So this is going to be a bit tricky to eat. And also, I think one important thing to do is just to keep track on how many calories you can or should eat per day. For a guy my age, it's probably around 2,500 per day or something if you're active. But try to be around 2,000 because I'm trying to lose weight. For women, maybe it's like 1,500 to 2,000 if you're very active. But you can check it out on online calculators, and I have some other videos on that I can link as well. But that's step number 1. But now let's try to dig in. Okay, so let's dig in. Try it out. This crispy top layer is going to be tricky to eat. You basically have to eat the toppings without the oats. Yeah, the cereals of course first, very sugary, together with the kiwi. Wow, that is tricky to eat. Very nice. Start the day. The problem is a lot of sugary foods basically make you want to eat more, so you kind of get addicted. So if you have a whole bowl of just like cereals and that, you probably feel almost more hungry than before. Okay, now we're getting down to the oat cereal here. It's a bit juicy. Let's try it out. It's a lot of good chocolate. You can definitely taste the chocolate from the protein powder. Oh, this is a big bite over here. Oh, let's go for that. Very good. This will actually fill you up quite well, especially if you eat it slowly. Now, I've never had the cereals on top, but you don't really need that. It's mostly because I wanted to finish it. This looks nice. Very good day to the last breakfast of the year. Saying bye-bye to 2020, saying hi to 2021 with this very good healthy meal. You should check it out. It's amazing. It took like 6 minutes to prepare. Eat it in like 5-10 minutes. Can't be faster than that. Oh, this is so good. And as I mentioned, if you just have fruit like this kiwi or berries, don't have these toppings, it's fantastic. Because you have oats inside as well. I had a lot of oats today, 36. Normally only have like 10 or 15. So this, the chia expand, the oat expand, this is a really heavy meal. So if you want to keep the calories down, I'd probably reduce the oats, especially from this version I did today. So less oats, less seeds in general, and have more Greek yogurt and more coconut milk instead. So basically you apply sort of the 80-20 rule. So where does 80% of the calories come from? Well, they come from the oats and the seeds. So basically if you cut those down, you will have a quite big difference in calories. You can go from like 1,000 to 500 basically if you just have yogurt instead, because yogurt is like 56 calories per 100 grams compared to the cereals which had like 450. So it's a factor of like 5 difference. So if you increase the share of yogurt and coconut milk to this, of course it's gonna be a bit more runny, but for the same volume you get so much less calories. So it's looking a bit messy here now, but I'm gonna wrap this up. If you liked it, give me a like, subscribe, and see you on the other side of the year in 2021, and Happy New Year. Bye-bye. Very crunchy. Wow, this is getting heavier. This is much bigger than it looks like. Definitely full.